Ladies and gents, girls and boys, Danny Stewart here for Pre-shipment.com with another naked sound review. This is a pre-shipment test on my latest Funky Junk number 62, which just completed. It's for a customer of mine, so it's not for sale, unfortunately, but you can. The good news is that you can order basically the same thing in almost any color that you want. And with Sims pickups like this one has, or with different pickups, it's up to you. We could do PJ, we do double P, we could do a jazz bass, we could do a 5-string if you want. Doesn't matter. Like, that's a 5-string up there, by the way, behind this Ken Smith here. There you go. So yeah, I mean, Funky Junk limitations are very few. This one has a special handmade pick guard. It's entirely handmade in spalted maple. I got various materials from my supplier, which is actually Dragonfly Guitars. They supply me the materials for my pick guards and stuff. Yeah, I get various woods, you know, like sometimes flame maple or Karin or burl maple. What else do we have? Sometimes kurokaki. But yeah, so there are many options that you can get. But anyway, I just want to run through this one. So this one was actually an ESP neck, precision-based neck, and it's on a Fernandes body, which is from the 70s. So the body is alder, and the neck is rosewood on maple. It's a very nice neck, very stable. And yeah, the truss is extremely healthy. It's got very low action. And it's also got a drop D tuner on it. And I'm just playing balanced right now, and you can see that there's on these pickups, which I've actually capped them with wood laminate so that it matches the rosewood fretboard in terms of color. It's actually not rosewood that I capped it with; it's walnut. But I've stained it so that the color match is very close. And you'll notice that it's lit up green on the front and blue on the rear. Now that means that we're in jazz humbucker mode, which that's jazz hum. And you can do jazz. So these switches give you each pickup mode, and each pickup has 3 modes. So I was front pickup was jazz, rear pickup was hum. Now I'm going to go jazz. Now I'm going to go. Let's do PJ. So precision jazz. Very nice. So that's PJ, PP. So both of them are red now. JP. You know, P hum. It's just insane. You know, so my customer actually said it's a veritable Swiss Army knife of a bass because of these pickups, which is true. And then you know, he wanted to have the drop D tuning peg added to make it even more of a Swiss Army knife. So I like that phrase. I'm going to coin that phrase. No credit to me, but credit to my customer for that. Indeed, it is. It is a very versatile instrument. So this one is a particularly high grade one. You know, the body is of high quality, older. It's made in Japan. Yes, it's been refinished, and my refinishing is not pro shop level because I do not have a license to handle industrial grade paints and lacquers. You need a special license for that here in Japan. I don't have it, so I'm limited to domestic use like car paints and top coat lacquers for either outdoor woods or furniture or for cars. So that's what I use, but I think the results are pretty tidy. Looks good enough as far as I'm concerned, and I also find it's not as thick as, like, say, the top coat that you're going to get. It's not as thick and not as hard as the top coat you're going to get, which is like a shell on these professionally finished instruments here, but it's a little thinner, and I think that actually lets the character of the wood breathe and come through a little bit more in the instrument. Anyway, let's have a listen to it just on the rear pickup. That's with the tone. That was about halfway. Good tone full up. Then tone all the way down. It's very nice. And then of course you've got jazz mode. Let's take the tone halfway up. And P mode. So yeah, you've got so many different. Sorry, that was my fingering. Was bad. But there you go, yeah. And on the front pickup, so you got two volumes here, by the way, with each one for each pickup and a switch for each pickup, and then you got a global tone. So front pickup, P mode. Tone just halfway up, all the way up. And then all the way down. Palm mute, for example. And then of course you've got jazz mode. P mode. That's sorry, hum mode. You know, so that even sounds good as well. Good for slap too. But then if you introduce the rear pickup again, It's got that kind of nice, I don't know, it reminds me a little bit of like a, maybe a status or something. It's a slightly mid-centric but punchy slap sound there when balanced. And then that's jazz. Yeah, it's such a... The necks worked out very nicely on this one, and I've done a more of a modern joint on the back there with the countersunk. The countersunk bolts, which have bushings, and it's got string through bushings too. So yeah, it's a pretty classy looking instrument. It looks like something that would cost, like, you know, at least twice as much as what it actually cost. So basically, this kind of build with a custom color, the super quad pickups, a custom made handmade wood pick guard, and high grade hardware is going to run about $1,300 at current rates. That includes my labor and the cost of the Sims pickups, which are relatively expensive. Of course, if you're going for something with different types of pickups, like I can offer used pickups, these bases are all recycled parts. A lot of my Funky Junk are all recycled parts. So if you're not using anything new, like this one has brand new bridge and brand new tuners, brand new pickups, of course that's going to make it a higher price. But if everything is used, recycled, and you're using old pickups, it's going to be cheaper still. You know, you could be looking at something that looks similar to this, but has used pickups instead and used hardware instead, and it's going to be dropping the price down to below $1,000. So you might want to consider that too. Anyway, that'll do it, I think, for today's video. So thanks very much for watching and listening to me ramble on about my Funky Junks. And I hope that the customer is going to be very pleased with this one. I certainly think it's one of my best to date, definitely. Certainly one of the best. That plays really nicely, ridiculously low action, and yeah, I really had a lot of fun and enjoyment building this. I'm not going to pretend that there weren't difficulties along the way, which were, you know, there always are when you're doing something like this. But yeah, the whole process has been very enjoyable. So thank you for that. I do genuinely love every single Funky Junk that I make, and I'm always very, very grateful to anybody who wants to give one of them a home. All right, so that'll do it, guys. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you again soon for the next review, which is going to be a very exciting one, as I have a nice announcement to make regarding a very famous brand that I can now offer. All right, cheers, guys. See you again soon.